Okay, Dave Nave, take it away.
All right, I'm going to do just a quick here. As I work with people, work with uh, organizations and teams and whatever, I find that definition by Henry Neves of three types of goals to be very helpful for me and for others actually. But he basically said there are three kinds of goals, facts, which are indisputable. If we don't reduce defects by 10% in 3 months, we're going to be out of business or we're going to lose the customer. That's fine. The second one he calls planning. It's based on some sort of knowledge. I call it prediction. I think the goal should be a prediction of something, of some theory, some assumptions of whatever you're talking about. And the third one is just an arbitrary goal. And I have no, don't do that. As part of this issue. And the way that I use these, and we might have enough time, but the way that I use these is when I see somebody write out a goal, I go through these. Is it a fact? And if it's yes, then leave it alone. If it's no, then I ask the bottom question actually, is it arbitrary? And if the answer is no, then it must be something in the middle that has some planning or some prediction involved. And what is that prediction? And how did you come to that prediction is usually what I ask. And I start to explore that. Now, as far as different types of goals and what this means, we can go on for a long time. I put a slide together that says arbitrary goals or the trap of easily obtainable goals, as it only addresses low-hanging fruit. There are no methods to accomplishment. There's no real improvement in the business. And this is like stuff you should have been doing anyways. Um, and that's the problem with numerical goals sometimes too, arbitrary numerical goals. Numerical goals are not necessarily bad, but arbitrary numerical goals do cause problems. I'll give you an example of low-hanging fruit is all of these process improvement activities. I talk to organizations that have extensive Six Sigma programs. And they say every employee or everybody that works in these groups must gain a savings of like 150,000 a year. And I'm like, no, because what they're going to do is they're going to go after the low-hanging fruit. There will be no real business improvement because any real business improvement in a Six Sigma program takes multiple years to accomplish. And they had a method, but there was no really beneficial. And I felt sorry for these people because they set up their entire organization to do this, and they were leaving all kinds of money on the table. Because anybody can appear to achieve any goal by redefining numbers, redefining terms, distorting or faking, or running up costs. This is a great one. So what's the cost of obtaining a goal, particularly an arbitrary numerical goal? And it saves in one area and then costs more in another. My favorite example of this is a grocery store. If a grocery store, the general manager of Safeway or Albertsons or whatever store has a arbitrary numerical goal of only 1% shrinkage. Does everybody know what shrinkage is in a grocery store? It's a theft and loss. So they have 1% shrinkage. The manager of that facility knows a lot of different ways of doing that. One of them is every time there's a shipment that comes in, a truck that comes in with stuff on it, he takes all the employees from that's working out on the floor, cashiers, stockers, and all that, and goes back and makes sure that what is being delivered is actually on the documents that are bill of lading and it's being done. And consequently, the customers are in the store with grocery baskets wanting to check out, and there's nobody there to help them check out. So the customer service is gone, but he's there obtaining his goal. but that's a cost. What's the cost of bad customer relations in that type of situation? So when you see a goal, ask these questions. Is it a fact? Is it a prediction? Or is it just some arbitrary number? I found it very useful.
I do too. Wonderful recommendation. And when you speak in January, maybe you'll tell us more about goals. That would be a great one, and particularly how to recognize when people are faking it. That would be helpful.
I'll tell you what the ramifications are. Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you, Dave. I appreciate it so much. I'm going to do just a quick